Hello, hello, hello. 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 Hello, hello, hello.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give us just a few minutes while we get our audio settings and a few other things straightened out here, and waiting for both teams to join the server. But GoTV did just go up, so we'll be getting going here soon. This is Hamtaro checking in. Carvelin will be joining me momentarily.
Hello.
Testing, testing. Looks like both of our levels are all right. Everyone, this is Carvelin joining us live for the duration of the match. The Academy team does not play until Wednesday, so just be covering the advanced team tonight is the plan versus HC Esports here, who indeed does have a positive record in advance at 4-3. Not quite on the level of GGPR at the moment, who's sitting at 6-1 in third overall in advance, just behind Yeah Gaming Brazil and Godaim, who we actually fell to on Inferno last match card.
That's what I was gonna mention. Yeah, God Aim looks like the number one at the moment, and that's who they recently just played.
So, not a bad team to go down to, obviously, if they're literally the number one ranked team at the moment. And I think any of these top 6 or 7 rated teams have a great chance at making a deep run into the playoffs here. So I'm sure we'll be casting some exciting GGPR playoff matches within the next month and a half as we get later into the schedule. So give us just a moment here, ladies and gentlemen. We're still early on in the connecting process in regards to both teams here, so Carp and I are likely going to grab a couple waters here. We are at our separate
I
homes
got
at the
my beef
moment.
jerky and I got my water
Carved,
already.
okay, Carv's a hair more prepared than me, but I'll be back in
I
just a
got a munch
moment
as I
here.
watch, man. I don't have popcorn, but I have beef jerky.
If anything unusual happens here in pregame, Carv will comment on it as I have my headphones off for just a moment here.
I'm by myself. I can take over. It's my stream now.
This is Carv's stream for the next 7 to 8 minutes, so I'll be
Oh
back.
no, I can't entertain him for 8 minutes. Come back. Hurry.
Unless for some reason all 10 join before then, but I'm running upstairs for just a moment.
Run, run.
Okay.
Anyone watch any movies lately? No chicken map today. We are actually on a new map, which is I wanted to mention that. We are on Vertigo, I believe. Which is new to me. I have no clue what this map holds. Maybe it holds chickens, but I don't believe it does. I wish I was an Oscar my wiener. I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish I do.
Alright, Carv, I'm almost back. I'm just finalizing a couple
Yay!
things here in OBS.
I'm no longer lonely. I was singing the Oscar Mayer winner song
Oh, okay.
to myself.
That's what I was hoping you were doing.
I was also mentioning that this is a new map for me. I have no clue what this map holds, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I've played quite a bit of Vertigo, although I'll admit most of it was obviously before this was thrown into the competitive pool in 2019, which you and I were discussing earlier. It was that Scandinavian team, Nordivon, I believe. Let me double check because I don't want to slaughter the pronunciation. Nordavind in AGO played on that map, and Nordavind, I believe, is the one who preferred that map, made the vote for it, and then it became obvious that they've been practicing it a lot because they just started dominating on it. So that was April 2019 is how long they've been playing Vertigo and ESL and ESEA. So I think it started in ESL and then made its way over to ESEA.
Let me ask you a question just to confirm. Does this map have chickens?
No, no.
Oh, come on.
There's no extra additions on this map except for the wheelbarrows, I believe, which are not movable, even though they have wheels.
I'll fixate on the wheelbarrows. I just need
You
something to look forward
can you
to.
can maybe shoot some of the cones actually, and there's some physics on the cones, but I'll have to keep an eye out what the extra items are besides the cones are.
It looks pretty cool. I like the little, off to the horizon in this map, though. It looks like we're in a high rise. We're in a skyscraper in the city. I like that. It's pretty cool.
I know the sandbags are not functional. And we did win on this map last time we played it, which was technically the very final map of Grand Finals of Season 34 main, which we did win. So that was the third map, I believe, of the Grand Finals, since it was a best of 5. And it looks like we're just waiting on 2 members from HC and 1 member from GGPR here.
So well, we're gonna see obviously how knife round turns out. But let's say GGPR does win knife round. Where do you think they'll start on this map? Do you think they'll start T or CT?
I know I sound like I'm just saying every map is CT sided lately because I'm an old man from 1.6, but I feel like they might go CT on this.
Okay.
Just because the
my question.
Yeah.
Knowledge is
No
spread.
pun intended, but the verticality of Vertigo has always just felt at least a little bit CT sided to me. Even though I know statistics may or may not say otherwise about that. I think it depends on what division we're talking about as well, because obviously the higher divisions, like what we're watching now, advanced and higher, are going to have more elaborate strats for T side, more elaborate executions and utility, etc. So maybe in the lower leagues it's more CT sided, but in the higher leagues it's probably pretty much even.
Well, I hope chat is as excited as I am to see this map, just because it's brand new to me. So I like seeing brand new things. As much as I miss my chickens, it's pretty cool to be on a new map.
I think we're just it's been quite a few Inferno matches in a row, followed by maybe one map before that and one map after that that wasn't Inferno, but and then we did cast Academy on Overpass, which was a fun match too. Which was a big dub for the Academy team. It seems like they've picked up some momentum and maybe some motivation from watching the advanced team do so well this season. Unfortunately, the advanced team did get their first loss last match that we casted, but it was a really good match versus Goddame, who, as we mentioned at the beginning of this cast, is sitting at the #1 seed in advanced right now. So obviously no shame in our game for going down to the top ranked team, who I'm sure you'll agree, Carv, will likely see in the finals. And before I forget, yeah, Gaming Brazil is another team. Okay, first of all, let me not get ahead of ourselves. I meant to maybe say playoffs there, although I do think we have a good shot at going to the finals. But yeah, Gaming Brazil is another team that I think we'll see in playoffs, upper bracket. And, well, they're undefeated right now, 7-0. But I was wondering, do they play from Los Angeles? The Brazilian team? We're going to have to do a little bit more research. I'm not sure if half their team is in California and half is in Brazil. I was looking at their profiles and I couldn't come to a final determination, but we'll see if we end up having to play on a more centralized location, or they might be in California, so it might be a non-issue where we're just playing on a TX or a Chicago server.
I'm looking at their ESCA profile. It looks like one's playing from Sao Paulo, at least that's what they have listed, and then one's listed in California. A couple of other profiles don't actually have location.
Okay, because Made in Brazil, MIBR, who I'm probably a little bit more familiar with than you, just because I've been following them since the original CS days, but they did make a big transition into CSGO, and they were actually one of the first teams, the first Brazilian teams, to send their members full-time to live in California and Los Angeles specifically. So I feel like other Brazilian teams have followed suit, Tier 2 and Tier 3 Brazilian teams. So, like you said, probably at least a few members, according to their profiles at least, are probably playing from California. So, we'll see how that plays out in playoffs. Definitely something to keep an eye on since they're undefeated at the moment. Are they the only undefeated team, Carv? Do you have that up on your other monitor right now?
Let me check right now. Goddame is also undefeated. So
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did mention. Yeah, we discussed Goddame in first, but I guess that would mean they're both. So those are the only two undefeated teams then.
I'm checking right now. Looks like Sapphire Kilo, who's right in the #4 spot, has lost the game as well. They lost to Brigada.
So we're sitting at third with one loss, and we have the least rounds lost out of the one loss teams. Is that correct?
I believe something like that. It also looks like the team we're playing tonight did recently lose to Gaming Brazil. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. It's going to be a very strong matchup, and I'm excited for this game.
I agree. Anyone who's just joining us, we're just waiting on, looks like one member so from each team, potentially waiting for coaches as well. But it looks like this isn't going to be a delayed match, really, or anything like that. Technically, we're still sitting in the allotted time frame for a normal match here. But yeah, you're right. It's gonna be fun to see some vertigo and just changing things up here, especially mid-season. I thought maybe it was gonna end up with an overpass. Actually, is what I had an intuition about, but I believe the vote swayed pretty adamantly to Vertigo. I think both teams have probably been practicing Vertigo quite a bit, just because it was such a mainstay, I guess you could say, last season for each division. I feel like everyone just had to be ready for Vertigo. And Creed did just join. I think we do have 5 on each team here.
About to mention that too. Looks like we have all 10. So we might be starting very shortly. Is this it? Are we doing it?
I think we're...
Yeah.
Is this... this is not knife round. Is it? Are we waiting for restart?
Oh,
No, this is not knife round. I see a bunch of guns out. Sorry. Unless we changed the rules on knife round here, it turned into just like a battle royale round or something. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we should be going live within about 3 to 4 minutes here on knife round. Oh, and it looks like that. Okay, there we go. That was the restart right there.
There we go.
I almost got overly excited. I was like, "Wow, we're starting!" Like,
so again, I'm not too familiar with CS:GO. You know, I'm still watching.
No, yeah, no, it's okay.
This map is very different.
I'm our CS native. You're our Valorant / Overwatch native. Don't get me wrong. I still played a fair amount of both of those games too, but CS is my main game.
Can you fall off the sides here, or is that just like, is there invisible walls, or what's going on here with that? Because you can see off to the sides.
Oh no. No, there's just some spots where it's not completely covered. Let me make sure I have X-ray on, by the way, for GoTV. Do you want to keep an eye on that for me here throughout first round, Carve, if you could?
For sure.
So it looks like GGPR is going to be starting on T there. They did drop the knife round, unfortunately. It looks like this might be a technical timeout here, actually. Normally we don't see a timeout this early. That's why I have the intuition this is technical. We're going to check the scoreboard here just to see if anybody's ping is frozen out. Looks like everybody's still connected. Is there any messages we should know about in Discord here, Carve? Is there anything going on here?
Let me check.
Well, audience, just stick with us here. I'm sure this is just a minor technical difficulty from one of the players in game at the moment. So whether it's our squad or the HC squad, obviously we want to be gentlemen and give them the proper time to get this sorted out.
See any notices or news of what's going on?
And it looks like freeze time is still at a pause here, so not an issue. These things happen. Like I said, I'm not able to determine at the moment from the ping situation which team this is affecting. Like Carve said, there's no obvious evidence that this is our squad having difficulty, but it could be. So just hang tight with us, everybody. I'm sure this will be cleared up in a moment here. Oh, and there we go. Freeze time is counting down. Just 5 seconds left on freeze time here, and we are officially getting going. So let's see what GGPR has in store for their T side. Looks like they're going with a fairly traditional non-buy 5 Glocks with 2 members buying utility instead of armor. That's going to be Lowrider and Civ, with as full of utility as you can get for pistol round, with an HE, a flash, and a smoke for each member. Looks like X-ray is working, Carve. Am I correct on that?
I was about to mention that. Look, you look good there.
Okay. Oh, and it looks like Swifty just narrowly missed Creed and Lowrider. It looks like he did tag Lowrider, or excuse me, Creed for 22. So Creed's going down to 78 there. Oh, and George! He actually, it almost looked like he had his crosshair lined up for the headshot, but he didn't quite notice he was there, but his teammate backs him up big. So GGPR holding each other's angles there. I'll have to double check who had George's back immediately there, but that was huge. It looks like that was Civ, actually, who was watching George's immediate right-hand angle. So great teamwork there. George, obviously, the brave entry killer, walking out first, so it's not his fault that he just barely didn't see that first member of HC. He did get another headshot onto Swifty there, so that's going to be 3 actually on the round for him as Cyrix goes down there at the end. So huge round from George Snorts again. Carve, who's been coming up huge these past 3 matches, I believe. Is this his 3rd match with GGPR? That sounds correct. I believe he started with us a week and a half ago on Inferno, and he's certainly proved himself. I don't know what happened there exactly. HC Gabe killing his teammate. And that's going to be a somewhat fast round there as Lowrider picks up those final 2 Mac 10 kills, including that final headshot on a fatality.
It looks like this is actually, yeah, I believe it's his 3rd game, but he was going to be in a 4th one? I'm not sure. I'm looking at these stats here.
He may have joined the roster before that time. Maybe he has scrim statistics with us before that. I don't think he's played a 4th match with us. I could be wrong about that. Creed with a nice headshot.
Team Clarity, a match against ERA, and a match against Sade. So yeah,
okay, and he also may have been on an advanced team just before that. I'm not sure if he was active or inactive on the season before joining up with us. Feltner with a nice kill onto the left-hand side onto Gabe there after taking sides. Gets the C4 down promptly. Swifty, that looked like a no-scope. I had just switched over to him from my other monitor looking at auto director there. Was it a quick scope?
I believe it was a quick scope.
Either way, an insane shot, yeah. And GGPR looking strong. Swifty clearly saving that off. Oh, nice reaction shot onto Feltner from Swifty, who's exiting site.
Oh.
Lowrider responding there, saying, "Hey, you're not just gonna kill my boy on a free exit." Oh, and he did. He did. Lowrider not messing around. He's like, you know what? Let me just pick up that op that you. Maybe we bought that though. I have to imagine we did since they're saving. Or maybe they did buy that since they're saving again, Carve. I'd have to see who spent $47.50 last round. I didn't realize they had that much. I can't imagine they bought armor on top of that op last round, but maybe they did. Oh, Creed. that Kobe-esque nade onto ramp there at upper, just right around the corner. You know what I love about that nade is Creed. It's so easy to accidentally throw that nade too far because you think it's going to land short because you're looking uphill right there, up ramp. And he tossed it just gently enough that it landed directly on the corner there where there was an enemy. So I love that he just has that soft touch with the nades, which we've seen repeatedly. We saw a lot of intense Creed utility on Inferno at A Hall and at Banana sometimes as well. He was mixing it up with the sights at times, I think. There's Feltner. I think a nice headshot onto Gabe. George watching flank here. I almost feel like he can sense that Swifty had pushed all the way through. Lowrider's gonna have to be careful. He doesn't want to lose this op. And Swifty knows that these guys are close, but it's not gonna matter too much since he did not have a rifle or an SMG. It was gonna be too difficult to hold that off with a P250, to be honest. And GGPR goes up 4-0, although this is still anyone's game, especially since HC's on a full buy right now, although they definitely are not in as good of an economic situation as GGPR, which ooh, nice shot by Feltner. I'm not trying to say they're even out of it even if they lose this round, but ooh, Feltner with another nice headshot. But they're definitely going to be in a situation where they're going to have to figure out how to at least get 4 or 5 rounds in this first half and not let GGPR take off too far with this. Although you and I are obviously not against that. Oh, Cyrex. A nice couple reaction options
how the team
there.
switches up whoever's running the EWP. Because last time they had Swifty on it, now they have Cyrix on it. So, you know, having 2 offers is always interesting.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see since Lowrider went down there and he does have enough to buy an op next round if he decides to buy that, or if in his mind it's more conservative to go with the AK. I'm not sure. I will note that apparently the SIG 552 is not being taken too seriously in ESCA Advanced or in ESCA Main. I'm not sure how many people are using it in MDL. Oh, and yes, you're spot on. It looks like he may have been dropped that because I don't know how he would have still had 7,200 left. I guess that was Feltner dropping him, it looks like. He was already pretty loaded up on funds and was able to save an AK that round because he didn't go down at the end. So Civ hopping up onto Sandbag. Creed backing him up. Civ getting his own nice headshot onto Cyrex there. And let's see how George responds as he moves up ramp here. He did take some... Oh no, George didn't take damage, excuse me. Civ did go down to 7 HP. Gabe, nice little headshot there, but can't imagine he's going to be able to stay up too much longer with only 4 HP. And Lowrider still lurking back here, as he should be. Nice shot on the Gabe. And Swifty... he knew he wasn't going to get the defuse, but he thought, man, I guess if I do, this will end up in some highlight reels here. Maybe if Lowrider had gotten disconnected there, he wouldn't have shot him off the bomb. Granted, I understand there was a smoke there, but he was clearly much too close to get that out. Lowrider, nice shot onto Cyrex.
That was beautiful.
You know, and HC has landed some really nice kills this game. They just haven't been able to get any rounds going yet. But Cyrix, their player that just went down there, he was actually opping for them earlier. So him and Gabe have been kind of switching off on the op here. Both of them have
Yeah,
actually had
Swifty.
some, yeah, and actually all three of them have had some pretty decent reaction shots. Just haven't quite been able to pull it all together to get their momentum going. Scar with a nice headshot there onto Civ, though, getting backed up by Fatality, who was still watching ramp and was able to get Lowrider. Feltner, nice little pop flash there. Getting backed up by George's utility, including that first little molly that popped off. Oh, nice shot by Scar. Looked like he was going to be able to back up that second kill onto Feltner, but Feltner trades him off with a nice headshot of his own. Feltner just looking away, but looks back at Fatality. And that's how you know Feltner's got some serious reaction time. He looked away as the CT walked out and still was able to land the headshot there. Let's see if he wins this 1v1, just barely missing Gabe, shooting to the left of his head there, but he's still going to win the round because Gabe's going to have to try to save, which he's not even going to be able to save. Feltner might save that off for Lowrider. Looks like he's going to. Op is on the ground there. Lowrider hasn't bought yet, so it looks like that is indeed for Lowrider, who is our captain and designated opper. So let's see where Lowrider decides to set up with it here. Oh, yeah, nice shot through the smoke there. At least majority through the smoke by Lowrider. Scar trading back off on the Civ. So GGPR is up 7-0. They've got Gabe down at 12 HP right now. Civ did go down, so this is technically a 4v4, but GGPR still at the advantage this round because there's not much Gabe can do with no head armor, 12 HP, and a FAMAS right now. He's definitely going to have to play much more passively than he was last round, or even at the beginning of this round. Oh, nice shot by Swifty. So Gabe is still alive despite that 12 HP. And Feldner taking out Swifty there. Gabe's still up with that 12 HP card. Let's see what happens here. Cyrix with some nice FAMAS spam through the smoke, no doubt. I think that was Lowrider he caught. Lowrider's at 5 HP, so it must have been. Oh, yeah. Feltner lining up the collateral there with some great AK control. And those 2 kills from Feltner should be enough to lock up this round. Looks like Gabe is falling back towards upper T-spawn stairs here. Just far enough away to not get tagged by this C4 explosion.
Feltner definitely ate his Wheaties this morning. Like, he's sitting with 13 kills at the moment.
Yeah, and speaking of eating Wheaties, HC must have noticed that GGPR was indeed eating their Wheaties this morning, because this looks like a tactical timeout where HC is going to go over things here. HC normally on the board with a few rounds in all of their other matches, actually, I believe, by the time they are past the 50% mark of the first half, which we just passed a moment ago as GGPR goes up 8-0 out of this 15-round first half. Like I've said though, HC, all very talented members, or all very talented players, I should say, individually, just haven't quite been able to outdo the chemistry of GGPR. Maybe this round though, they've already got 3 members of GGPR, excuse me, GGPR down. Our 4-letter acronym gets me at times. Nice shot by Creed there. Oh, Scar responding, and that was the round HC was looking for. And likewise, I mean, we've seen GGPR start out, you know, a little bit lackluster on Inferno recently, and they brought it right back. I think we started out 0-6 / 1-7 on Inferno. Came back to win the match 2 weeks ago.
Looks like HC has Cyrix back on the op this time.
Who did have some really nice reaction shots earlier. Let's see if he's able to replicate that. Ooh, Scar. Looked like a collateral there. Landing that second headshot on the lowrider. Vic with a nicely placed smoke. Looks like it's going to cause HC to fall back a little bit from that ramp corner angle, which I think most teams like to hold that just to make sure the T's don't get too much visibility at mid-ramp there. And it looks like the bomb is going down. It's a 2v2 situation. George about to peek Fatality. He's going to land it on Fatality. He knows Gabe is close, so he's firing off a few shots into that smoke there. Let's see what Vic and George are able to do. George, oh, he takes 22 damage, but he did put out at least 30, I think, to Gabe there, who's down to 46. Gabe gonna have to save. Yep, this is gonna be a save. Exit kills maybe by Gabe here. 1 exit kill. Not that I was trying to bring any bad intuition or prediction on a GGPR there, but it looked like Gabe was set up in a good position for an exit.
So did end up picking up someone's op there. I believe it was Cyrix that he picked right back up.
So our boys still up 9-1 here. Good game, using a lot of utility at mid there. And this looks like a fairly conservative round from both teams here. They're kind of just feeling each other out here, it looks like, Carve. Like you mentioned, HC's kind of been swapping off on the op here. So Gabe's on it now. Little trade there from Fatality and Civ. And Gabe's still holding that very tight angle on the stairs. He's likely going to be able to get a kill if Good Game rotates over there, but it looks like our guys are taking a more standard approach at mid-ramp here. Vic with that molly, which lands up top, which isn't quite going to be close enough. Cyrix was pretty spot on with that spam, but yeah.
Shot two, I think, and just.
Oh, Scar. Scar with some big accuracy there. And let's see if George can... not quite. He did get the first headshot there. It almost looked like he lined up the second. He got Swifty down to 41. I thought he got him down lower, but... nice try from George there.
So recently we've been seeing a lot of teams switch up their offers. Do you think that's like a better strat, or do you think it's better to have just one single offer?
I'm glad you brought that up. I think I was subliminally kind of thinking of that right now. And I kind of like that lowriders just are designated op regardless of the map. I think I'm a little bit more traditional of a thinker like that. I know HC is kind of switching off between Gabe and Cyrix right now.
Yeah, the reason I primarily mentioned is just recently a lot of the teams we've been going up against, they've been switching up their offers. You know, so it's just interesting to see that. Obviously, being well versed with every weapon and attack shooter is really good.
Right.
It's interesting seeing them swap it up rather than have one designated offer.
I will say there was quite an exchange there at mid that did not involve Gabe's off. Gabe actually just went down to Feltner, who picked up a 3K. He started out with that headshot onto Gabe, and Gabe's teammate that was just adjacent to the left of him, I believe, and then finished it with that 3K there. But yeah, I'm not necessarily saying the reason for Gabe's death was the consistent changing of op hands, but I mean, maybe I don't know. GGPR just seems to kind of have their number at mid. Maybe they need to be in an even more conservative setup, even though it seems like they already are in a pretty traditional / conservative setup. Maybe passive should be the word I should be using. Maybe you need to play just a little bit more passively with less mid peaks. Not that I'm saying I have the answers for either team right now, but it seems like HC either needs to turn it up on the aggression or somehow needs to play even more passive angles and maybe use their utility later in the round. Oh, Feltner with another nice 2K there. He seems to be picking up multi-kills fairly consistently this game, as he has every game, so not that I mean to sound surprised at all by that. It's been a great addition to the team.
Alright, HC's running two ops this round, Gabe and Cyrix. It'll be an interesting one going into round 14.
Looks like Good Game has a lowrider on the off again here. Creed using the Galil. I think he could have had... oh, nice shot by lowrider just above ramp board there. George headshotting Swifty. Gabe, nice little op shot there under Creed. It looks like Gabe is the designated opper for the rest of this game. Although I just noticed Cyrix has an op this round as well, but Gabe has had one, I believe, 4 rounds in a row now, maybe 3 rounds in a row. Feldner with a nice kill onto Gabe. Scar responding with a headshot onto Feltner. And I don't believe HC has enough time to do much about the C4 here, as they're both saving their weapons. Wow, shout out to Abe and Davin and Brendan and Jordan and all the boys and ladies that might be joining us. Shout out to Jordan's girlfriend, who might have this up on the 65-inch TV in the living room right now. And Feltner, nice little flash there, although HC wasn't close enough to be affected by that. George, unfortunately, getting dinked there. It might have actually been more than one shot, but Gabe did finish him off with the FAMAS, so he's gonna switch for that AK, which does significantly more damage than a FAMAS per bullet. And let's see, we've got Lowrider wrapping left here. Looks like all of Good Game kind of took that back route at upper mid there, and it worked out with the plant. Although Cyrix did get Vic there. HC has all, or excuse me, now they're down to down to 2 members. We're in a 2v2 situation. Similar help on both teams, except Cyrix showing some serious accuracy there with the M4, landing 2 headshots as he allows his teammate to defuse. A well-deserved round from HC there. So, although HC only able to pick up 3 rounds that half, if they get pistol round here, it won't be a complete loss actually. You know, maybe they could kind of rally on eco round and not really dwell too much on this first half score here. Shout out to Jordan, just a reminder that it's your birthday the rest of the month. So another 3 or 4 days, or however much longer we have in September. Yeah. King Killer, that young GGPR founder. And we are going live on 3 here. Let's see if Good Game decides. Okay, looks like we do have a 1 pistol buy from Creed. Picking up a E250 there, I believe. We're rolling out with 4 USPs, and HC with actually a very traditional 5 Glocks, 4 armor, and 1 member with utility, double flash and a smoke. So Gabe, oh yes, he did see Lowrider there. I wasn't sure if he saw him before he shot, but he's clearly aware of him now. And let's see if Creed and Lowrider end up peeking that mid ramp angle area here. So there's Gabe coming up right behind Tarps there. Let's see if he ends up wrapping around kind of that inner corner directly to side, or if he waits a moment. So both teams playing very smart right now. Not giving up too much positioning. Cyrix very close to the enemy there. Let's see how this actually plays out. Lowrider's right there in the sight. Feltner as well. Vic, nice headshot onto Swifty. This is going to be a slight GGPR advantage as they rotate into bomb site here. George is maybe going to toss this smoke through window. Yes, he does. And let's see if they, yeah, it looks like they might just have a man stick it here and go for the cleanup. Oh, Creed with 3 headshots there from his P250, so clearly that buy was worth it. That may have been a P2000, I believe it was a P250. HC is going for the aggressive 3 AK buy here, Carv. Yeah, let's see if this works out for them on stairs here. George does only have an MP9. Not that I'm underestimating him. We have seen him make some incredible SMG and pistol plays throughout the past 3 matches. This is the 3rd match, I believe, as you and I discussed earlier. So George and Vic fitting in well with the team. Oh, and Creed able to connect on that headshot versus fatality after just barely missing the first few shots out of his M4 there, but is able to recover in time to get the headshot. And Scar is about to wrap corner here near sight. He did see Creed on opposite corner. Looks like he just barely missed the headshot onto Creed. About a quarter second too late on that AK shot. So Swifty knows that George might be off to the left, and he does land that headshot. Incredible shot from Swifty there. And a lot of discipline for keeping his crosshair off to the left-hand side there. I would have to say most players would have probably, or at least in pugs and other leagues, might have drifted off to the right there and been trying to clear sight. Nice cleanup by GGPR there, as I believe round timer expired.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong there, because there was still a
they were going for the
final exit kill from
but the
HC
planner
there.
ended up going down there.
So GGPR looking to go up 15-3 if they can and get match point here. HC knows they're gonna have to come up big this round. Felder is gonna take out Gabe early here. Creed, another headshot onto Scar. Let's see what Vic has in. Yep, he's got a headshot in store for fatality. That's what he's got. And let's see if he's able to maybe take out Swifty back there. He's got a, oh. Yeah, Vic is going to take out Swifty and Cyrix there, both with headshots from his AK that he picked up, I believe, 2 rounds ago. And this will be match point for GGPR, Carv. This was quite a dominant performance thus far. Let's see if they're able to close it out here or if HC's able to extend this. Swifty does get a nice opening kill onto George. George getting a little aggressive there. Can't blame him for being too confident considering that we're up 15-3, but perhaps debatable what he should have done at mid there. I think normally he probably would have landed that opening headshot there, but can't get him every time, right? So Gabe double scoping with his scout here. He is indeed, as we discussed, HC's designated sniper. Let's see if Creed moves up more aggressively than usual there, or if he kind of just holds. I think he's just gonna hold, which is probably the smarter move. Scar throwing a lot of utility here. Cyrix already throwing some spam with that Galil through the smoke. And HC has 30 seconds to stay in this match, Carb. They do get the bomb down. Oh, Creed with a nice spam shot onto Fatality into the site there. C4 is indeed already planted. Let's see how this plays out. Swifty is wrapping with the Galil. This is a 4v4 situation. Swifty is able to take out Vic there. And this is a one-man advantage, two-man advantage. This is a 1v3 now. Creed only has 2 HP, so he's going to go down to the hands of Cyrix. And HC hanging in there with a nice late round execution. 30 seconds left on the clock. Able to take sight there.
Looks like GGPR is saving.
Yeah, let's see.
4 people.
Let's see if they mix it up and go B this round. It was a nice A take last round, but not sure if they want to be that bold at mid/A ramp area this round. And oh, Fatality with that last bullet connecting that headshot onto Creed. It's going to put HC at a one-man advantage here, although they do have 3 members that have taken damage, including Scar, who took another bullet as I was saying that and went down to 36 HP. And Swifty landing the headshot onto Lowrider there, who unfortunately didn't realize that he had crept up so close, which he really didn't have any way of knowing at that time. There wasn't necessarily a teammate in the vicinity to get on the comms for that, but not that there should have been. It's already pretty late in the round there. And here we go. Potentially the final round of the match. Oh! Gabe using that counter-terrorist weapon against us there, landing that opening M4 headshot onto Feltner. Lowrider almost going down himself. He's down to 14. Vic is down at the hands of Fatality. Scar has the lowest health on HC at the moment as he's sitting at 43. Gabe's sitting at 52. The remaining members of HC all sitting at 100 with head armor. I will note that all 5 members of HC do have head armor, so it's likely they're going to be able to pick up this round, as GGPR was not able to. Oh, there's the first pick from Good Game on behalf of Creed there as Gabe goes down, but don't know if that's going to be enough to. Oh, Lowrider with another headshot there. Still don't know if that's going to be enough to do much with this round, as Creed is likely going to have to save. I know saving a FAMAS is not the most ideal situation. He does land that headshot onto Fatality. We apologize, that auto director did go off there for a moment before that headshot. But Creed was able to pick up that AK, and he's gonna maybe get another exit onto Scar. Yes, he does. And Swifty was a bit too. Oh, Swifty catches man. Creed.
Right at the last second.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was out of Creed's distance, but it looks like he had that feeling that Creed might be within peekable range there, and he He was correct, and he did land the shot.
But Gabe is back on the op on HC.
So gotta give credit where credit is due there to HC. Oh, Cyrix with a really nice headshot through the smoke there onto Feltner. Creed did return a trade there, which I believe was also partially or majority through the smoke there. And Creed firing off another couple M4 shots just to make sure no one's trying to be too cheeky there. Vic came around the corner. I had a feeling that was going to be a hard matchup for him, as Fatality was already prepared on the angle with an AK. 2v3 situation. It's going to be likely a difficult retake for a good game, although Creed does get Cyrix down there, bringing it to a 2v2. Can they bring it to a 2v1? Just maybe Gabe. Oh, it is a 2v1. 1v1 situation, but
Wow.
Swifty coming up huge and keeping HC's determination of bringing this to overtime alive. So good game, still looking to close this out before HC gets too many rounds. I'm sure they don't want them to get into the double-digit amount of round wins here. HC is sitting at 7 round wins at the moment. And Scar almost getting that headshot onto Lowrider, but actually only hits one shot through the wall, I guess, and brings him down to 86. So here's George holding with a P250 over by stairs there at B. Good game on somewhat of a split right now, as they have 3 men going towards A, 2 floaters at mid. Fortunately, Fatality taking out one of those mid members. That was Creed there. He is only at 7 HP himself. That's Fatality I'm referring to. And George definitely heard those footsteps down there. Vic able to finish off Fatality there. George knows that some big's about to happen here. He's hoping he's going to be able to contribute a kill to it. Yes, he does get that kill on the Gabe. That might be just enough for a good game to get this round. Yes, and that is going to be a GG for GGPR. As they go.
Really exciting, man. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, no pun intended, but the verticality of Vertigo definitely opens up a lot of exciting plays that we don't see on other maps, even in terms of the opping at mid, how they're looking down at such a steep angle, etc. on those corners. So yeah, GGPR going up 7-1 on the season. And it looks like HC is going to 4-4. They were still a very formidable opponent. They just weren't able to get their momentum going until later in the second half there. And that those 3 rounds that HC picked up in the first half just weren't quite enough to get them through the second half, and GGPR was just sitting at match point for a bit too long, and was able to finish it out there at the end, 16-7, I believe. So until next time, which I believe will be the Academy match on Wednesday, Carv, you and I will both be there.
Yes, sir.
I hope everyone else here be joining us. So once again, this is Hamtaro and Carvelin. We're both content creators and casters for GGPR. And we love being involved in all games that GGPR is involved with. Counter-Strike is one of our favorites, as it goes back to my roots personally, and I've been pulling Carve into CS more and more. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far this season. So like last season, we're looking to make another run into playoffs. So join us as we continue our journey into season 35, potential playoff situation. Thank you. See you all Wednesday.
Later.